Hello everyone, how's it going? I'm WoWcrendor, and welcome to another episode of World of Crendor, where I answer the questions that you email into me at worldofcrendor@gmail.com. And yeah, it's a grand old time. Usually they go up on Fridays, but this week I was kind of busy, so I'm just putting it up on the weekend. Maybe Saturday, maybe Sunday right now. It'll definitely be up by Sunday, but either way, you're listening to it right now, so it doesn't even matter. Let's begin, okay? Okay. Dear Crendor, I would like to hear your views on the whole WoW vs Guild Wars 2 debate on whether or not this is going to be the death of WoW and if Mist of Pandaria is going to keep WoW in the lead. Guild Wars 2, I fear, has a good chance of stealing it away from Blizz, with what appears to be a very well thought out game which is good lore-wise and gameplay-wise. I'm personally worried whether Mist of Pandaria will get the appreciation it deserves, since the new patch from the looks of it is a very different approach to what WoW X packs are. Seeing as there is no major boss, who is the nemesis, e.g. Deathwing, to set the scene of the new expansion, the tone of the whole thing is a very big contrast to any MMO X-Pack in general. It focuses mainly on the conflict between the two factions. Guild Wars 2, on the other hand, seems to have brought a very unique but original MMO scene and is still budding on the old Guild Wars 2 theme, but also keeping it fresh and different. I'm not saying Guild Wars 2 is better, it just seems to be generating a lot of success, and if you look at the WoW Mist of Pandaria trailer, there is a big dislike percentage. And I don't think you gave your name. But anyway, I like this question, because this is a question of the new games that are coming out, which are Guild Wars 2 and Star Wars and all that. And I think a lot of people will buy Guild Wars 2 just because you don't have to pay monthly for it. I think that was a big thing to me. Like, I was like, oh, I could try this game, but I was like, I could just buy Guild Wars 2 and play it whenever I want, and there's no subscription. So it's kind of like, it's almost like a free-to-play game, really, except you have to buy it first, but you're getting a lot of content for that original purchase, so it seems like it's well worth it. But the thing that Mist of Pandaria is doing, which is what I've been talking about, like, forever, is that they're finally adding, they're focusing on the things that you do when you're not raiding or PvPing. Like, that is such a big part of the game, because for the last expansion, and even for, like, the other ones, they mainly focused on PvP raiding. It's like, we're gonna give you awesome raiding content or PvP arena stuff for, like, I don't know. But that's what they did. They just focused on those two things. Now they're like, wow, people get bored when they're not doing those things, and we need to give them something to do aside from, like, grinding LFG dailies and farming mats. So that's why they're adding things like the Pokemon. That's one of the main reasons they're adding Pokemon. That's one of the, just call it Pokemon. It's one of the they're adding, like, time trial modes. So you can be like, oh, let's do some time trial modes. And that's, like, something you can do when you're not raiding. And PvE scenarios. There's another thing you can do when you're not raiding that's separate from looking for group dungeons. So, like, and even, like, with this last patch, or the upcoming patch, they're adding the Dark Moon Fair stuff. So, like, they're finally focusing on non-raiding and non-PvP stuff, because those things are important, but they focused way too much and gave it way too much attention, and it's for such a, like, small selection of the community. And they can still do, like, the types of raid stuff they do, but they need balance, because there's no balance right now. They need some balance. That's what they're trying to do, and that's why I think Mist of Pandaria is going to be an awesome expansion. Granted, I think Guild Wars 2 will be a good game as well, so I think that's good. I think it's good, though, because I think WoW needs some competition. There needs to be some sort of competition so that the one person doesn't, like, become a monopoly and do whatever they want. That's what has to happen. So I think it's actually good. I'll probably buy Guild Wars 2, but I'm gonna buy Mist of Pandaria as well, so yeah! I think I answered the question. I tend to go off on, like, my own rants. Bottle of water. You never tasted so good. Next question. Hey WoWcrendor, my question topic is about the Dungeon Finder tool. Dungeon Finder was implemented in patch 3.3, and after that, the entrances to every dungeon instance has lost their purpose, because nowadays you can queue up for a dungeon anywhere you are. Before that, you had to spam trade chat in capital cities to find a group, which usually took very much time. I'm, of course, glad that Blizzard gave us this tool, but it still saddens me that the entrances to every instance doesn't have a meaning anymore. When Cataclysm got released, you had to visit the entrance of every dungeon before you could queue up for them first, which was a really nice idea in my opinion, but they decided to remove this also sometime later. Only reason why people use the dungeon entrance nowadays is if you try to solo the dungeon. Today people are still looking for group for pug raids, but this will also die with the upcoming raid finder tool. My question is, do you think Blizzard should find a way to make us use the dungeon entrances? Yours, Khadgar of EU. Well, I was actually just talking about this the other day, so I was like, this is very relevant, I'll talk about it. And Blizzard wants to like make the world more active again instead of everyone sitting in Orgrimmar, and they still want to use the LFG tool because it's still like a really good thing to have if you're just like, oh, and do an instance, click. But I think what they should do is they should give, right now they give a buff if you like use the LFG tool. I think they should use, or give you a buff if you go to the instance and make your own group. That way, you can choose either to be buffed if you want to form the group on your own and head out into the world and go there on yourself, or like in your own little party or whatever. Be like, oh, here's a buff for wanting to really do that and like go into the world. And then if you want to use the LFG tool, that's fine, but you don't get a buff. You're just like, oh, it's just a normal run because you were too lazy to actually run to the instance. So I think if you do some sort of like like reward for going out and actually forming your own group, that would be really cool. And that's the types of things they need to do in order to like make the world more active again. Is you need to be rewarded for going out into the world. Because right now you get rewarded for like everything else, so why not get rewarded for actually leaving Orgrimmar? And that's what they gotta do. That's what you gotta do, that's what you got. Okay, now for the LOL question, which is more of a MOBA question. Hey Crendor, so I have played League of Legends for 8 months now. One thought I always have is that Pokemon or Marvel's X-Men could easily make a MOBA LOL style game. I feel like some characters like Gambit, Twisted Fate, and Articuno, Anivia are easy examples of characters already in the game. I'm sure there are lots of characters used as hero inspiration in Dota, Dota 2, and Han. So do you think it would be beneficial to Marvel or Nintendo to create a game of their own? I feel like they should get a game made for the genre before the market is flooded by other companies that will use their pre-existing characters, instead of creating their own original ideas. Marvel has always been able to make new heroes and villains. As they say, I have to like scroll to the right because I didn't cut this up. Sorry! Marvel has always been able to make new heroes and villains as they see a need in the X-Men or Avenger universe. Pokemon could start with just a few of the original 150 and add more like LoL every few weeks. I also think Pokemon could be set so you start with pre-evolved Pokemon, and as they level, evolve from early to mid-game, and again for late game. I think it would make it more fun, and people would feel like they actually have different things to do from early to mid to late game. Do you think either of these universes could make a future game? Thanks for your time, Turtle number 13. So this, I thought, is actually a pretty cool idea, and I think this is what like Blizzard's doing right now. Like instead of Warcraft 3, they're just like, you know what people liked about Warcraft 3? Dota. Let's do that. So that's kind of what they did. So they just like took all their Blizzard characters and put them in a MOBA game, and that's pretty much, it's probably what gave you this idea. Maybe not. I'm just guessing, but I think the hard part is like actually making the game, but it has to like compete now with games that are already popular. So like League of Legends is pretty much like the World of Warcraft of MOBA games right now, and it's gonna get harder and harder to compete with them because they're kind of like developing this style and they know what it takes and they have the best marketing out there right now, so it's kind of hard. And like you said, there's Gambit and Articuno and they're like Twisted Fate and Anivia, but that's what LoL does, is they like, a lot of their characters are just taken from other games and just like parodied in a way to be a character. So it's I think a Pokemon would be really fun. Actually, a lot of those games would be really, you could do it for like any type of series really. It's just, like you could do Mortal Kombat, MOBA, you could do, you know, there's a bunch of them. But the hardest part is making the game, then marketing it, then making a profit from it. And I think a lot of the companies are kind of discouraged because there's already a lot of MOBA games already coming out now. And my phone is ringing. Alright, I dealt with my phone call, but that's pretty much my view on this question. What do you think? Because I think it's an interesting idea that like all these companies would start making their own MOBA game, because that's really popular right now. And it's just a matter of having the means to do it and then knowing that you're going to profit from it. And that's what would make these people create the games. But leave your comment below on that thought. Okay. Now for the random question. Hey Crendor, like many of your viewers, I first heard of you through WoW Insider. It's because of their promotion that I began watching your videos and I am now a subscriber. I was wondering how important their support was to your success. Obviously the quality of your content speaks for itself, but in terms of getting your name out there, do you think you would have gotten popular without them? Also, I'd be interested to know how your relationship with them began. Is there a possibility that you could work for them in the future? Thanks, Drew. Well, I picked this not because of WoW Insider, really, but because a lot of people wonder, like, how did you get from 0 views to, like, a bajillion? I don't have a bajillion. I wish. That'd be really cool. But, WoW Insider was, like, the first blog I got on. And the only reason I got on there was because I was like, oh, maybe they'd like to watch my video that I made. So I sent them my video, and they put it up. And then I was just like, oh. Every other video I made from like then on, I was just like, I'll give it to WoW Insider, and they would always put it up, so I just kept doing that. But that's just like what you're supposed to do when you like make, like a lot of people are like, help me get bigger on YouTube, sub for sub, box for box, like those things might work a very small amount, but if you want to really get viewed and you make quality content, you need to get put on blogs. Because blogs, blogs are like a marketer. I can't even, no words. If I had to recommend one thing for you to do, if you had like a quality video and you wanted to get views on it, it would be to submit it to blogs. Like, even YouTube tells this to all these people. They're just like, have a blog roll. And every time you make a video, you submit that video to all these blogs and websites. So like, every time you make a video, put it on forums, put it on Reddit, submit it to blogs, put it on Facebook, put it on Twitter, submit it to all the blogs that you like have in your blog roll. So like, for me, I'd submit it to like WoW Insider and any other gaming blog or any other WoW blog there is, or MMO Champion, or just whatever. And that's one of the biggest things people don't do in marketing. And without WoW Insider, it would have taken a while for me to get to where I am, but that's what marketing is. That's why a lot of YouTube is just marketing. And the main reason this works is because the blogs want content, because obviously, if you're a blog, you want to get views too. So if you give them your video, it's kind of like a you both benefit type thing. So they get views from your video, and they have content to put on their blog, and then all the views they get go over to you as well because you're getting publicity. So you're both generating awesomeness for yourself. Okay? Okay. That's it for this episode of World of Crendor. Only doing 4 questions this week because I gotta make a WoW video right now, because I was gonna make one yesterday and then I was like, oh snap, I don't really want to make this script because I don't think it's done yet. So then I had to like find a different script that I could make faster, and now I'm like stuck in that conundrum of telling people I was gonna make a video today, so now I have to make a video today. So we're only doing 4 questions. That's the whole point of this talking thing, where I use my voice box to conjure words out of my mouth. Yes. Okay? If you got questions, you can email them to worldofcrendor@gmail.com. It's an awesome email. It has a bunch of questions in it, and yours might get answered next time. So, it's a good thing. Okay? Okay. Oh yeah, like, favorite, comment, subscribe, yada yada. YouTuber talk of things that help promote me. Okay? Okay. There you go.